In blouse number 1, as you see, we have the armhole princess darts, the scooped neckline, and sleeveless with a shaped hem. Now, I do see some refinements that I want to make in the fit. You see this extra fabric right here? I don't want to pinch both sides. I want to take it just from the side front piece, not the center front. So I'm going to pinch this in just ever so slightly. It's about 1/4 of an maybe 3/8 of an inch, just in the apex area. This will give it a smoother look. If I took it from both the center front and the side front, it would make the center front a little too narrow, and that's not really where it's needed. It's just a little bit bigger than Morgan needs to have a really good shape. And once I've taken it in, then when I clip the seam on the inside, it will release these little drag lines. They kind of pull because I haven't clipped the seam. So let me check this side. Same thing. Morgan has a very symmetrical body. Later on, when we get into bodies that are not symmetrical, I will teach you how to work with asymmetrical bodies. You see how that's pulling back into shape, this area. The reason that the seam allowance is pressed away from the center front is that it doesn't leave impressions down the center front. The neckline and armhole have 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So once this is in, it'll be really a nice shape. Okay, may I have you turn and a little bit more. We're going to look at the back a little bit more. You see all this back here? This is too big. So great, we're going to take that in. Just a little bit more here. Now once again, back just a fraction. There you go. If I take it from both sides, it's going to make this middle center back area, it's going to make the line go in, and it's going to be a very odd shape. I might take a little bit, but most of it is going to come from the side back. Just a little bit. The center back panels, there are 2 of them, we'll have a zipper down the back. It comes out slightly. I'm going to make this straight. So first I'll mark it so you can see the straight line. That's about maybe 3/8 of an inch, not quite 3/8 of an inch. And I want to pull this over. So I want this seam to fall down where the pins are, and I want to pull this over into that seam. So I'm going to pin it this way so you can see where it's going. And I'm going to put a pin at the top, or where I want the alteration of this garment to start. I want it to start right about here, and then so it's going to blend into nothing right at this point right here. Put a little pin there, and that's it. Okay, so let me mark the other side, and that was 3/8 on this side. However, because this side is more pinned than this, I'm going to remember to use this as my example. This will just let us look at both sides, but I could pin this all the way up as well because she's, again, quite symmetrical. Now, her leggings are gripping the fabric, and as she has moved and turned, what's happening is the top is riding up because it's gripping onto the leggings. But when I get finished with it, it won't. It'll be perfectly smooth. That's a much, much trimmer look. She doesn't have that flare out. And the hem here is just 1/4 of an inch to the seam allowance. But you can see it's got a nice shape on the sides, beautifully. It's a very flattering shape for her. Okay, so from here, I know what needs to be done to make it a perfect fit. I will take the pattern and create a neckline and armhole facing. I will also create a hem facing. And I really couldn't do that without this fitting and these changes, because taking it in the back will dictate to me how the shape of the facing needs to be. I have to take that in before creating that facing, which we will do at the table. And then I will transfer these markings, take it off the garment and transfer those back onto the pattern for future reference. So here's Morgan in our almost completed top.